Happy Camper Comedy Tour, Canada's funnest comedy tour. Please welcome your host. He's the host of Last Minute Comedy, a local here in St. John's, my man, Josh Menchions!
How y'all doing? Hello there. Welcome to the Happy Camper Tour. Brought to you by Punchline Nutrition. Now that I got that out of the way, I can get in some jokes. Let's start by, addressing the elephant in the room. I know I got a bit of a speech impediment, so if you don't understand me now, you're in for a very confusing 20 minutes. I get in a lot of funny situations because of my speech, right? And I get people to pretend they know what I'm saying. But it's really clear that they have no idea what it is that I'm saying. I can say anything. And they end up at the end of it to say, oh, good for you. Or I want to get a response, oh, God love you. It's ridiculous, boss. It's ridiculous. But when we get on about this, I know that I can have a little bit of fun, right? I can say whatever I want, and they won't know what I'm saying. I can say stuff like, I'm a world-famous gymnast, and I won 3 gold medals. Do I look like a world-famous gymnast? No, I'm gonna say that, and they say, oh, good for you. Good for you, right? I tell them my arse is blue, and then I'm from Mars. They say, oh, God bless you. God bless you, cotton picking socks. I get a lot of funny situations because of my disability. Mostly with the elderly women. They say and do things that, oh man, it just writes itself, Sometimes I don't need to write my own jokes. I just need to go out in the world and something happens, and I'm like, yeah, there's my next joke. There it is, right? And I'll give an example. I went grocery shopping not too long ago, right? And I got out of the van with my friends and I made my way to the entrance. And this little old lady stopped me right at my tracks, right? Pulled her shopping cart right in front of me. I'm thinking, what's going on? Does this lady now know how to work a shopping cart? Right? But before I could even say anything, she looks at me up and down, but she goes, oh, you poor ducky. Here's $10. I wish I were making it up, right? But I don't need to tell you how rude that is, That's super rude. See, assuming because I'm in a wheelchair that I'm not well off, right? So I thought to myself, this could go one or two ways. I could possibly, I could let her know how rude she's being and, tell her off. Possibly make an old lady cry. I don't know about you, but I don't like to make old ladies cry. And it's not really my thing, right? Or option number 2 is that I take that money and I go home, gonna buy a 9 bag of weed. Can you guess which one I did? So I took that money and I said, thank you. And away I went. And my friends looked at me, they're like, Josh, why did you do that? Like, you don't need that money. You don't need to enable that kind of behavior. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. But I look at it as a win-win. They say, how is that a win-win? I'm like, think about it, right? This little old lady, she gets to go home, feel right good about herself. Say, I helped out a man in a wheelchair today. Then $10, you're gonna go so far, right? If I wasn't going to heaven before, I'm going to heaven now. And I get to go home and get a hug. It's a win-win, people. Win-win. But I get away with so much stuff because of my disability, and like, if I were a super villain, you all be in trouble. But I run over people's toes, and they apologize to me. Who else can get away with that? Right? It doesn't make sense. Like if you were in a car and you ran over someone saw away your car, they'd be pretty mad. And they might even try to sue you. But if I'm in the car, the door opens, the ramp comes down, and I see me in my wheelchair. Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's fine. You didn't know any better. It's all right. You go on, my ducky. You have a good day. Oh, man. Ridiculous. Really is. But I see the most crazy interactions are with some religious people. Right? So I'll give an example of that. I went to my community garden the other day. That just happened to be behind the church. And minding my own business, tending to my garden, I go to turn on the water. And some guy from the church, he stops me. He says, excuse me, sir. Can I pray for you? I said, man, I'm just trying to water my plants. Besides, you're too late. The truck already hit me. What do you think you're gonna pray and all of a sudden I'll get up? Hallelujah! I know, it doesn't work that way. Oh, it's just funny, boys. I know they mean well, but I just can't help making fun of them sometimes. It's crazy. But I also found I got a bit of a superpower. You want to know what my superpower is? It's very convenient for someone like myself, right? Not very often, but sometimes I get up to shenanigans, stuff I shouldn't get up to, and I might tip over my wheelchair, right? It happens, okay? It happens. But I don't need to worry about it, because I know in 30 seconds, a group of people are going to come out of nowhere and help me out. I could be in the middle of the Sahara Desert. I tip over, and some boys come out of the sand dunes, and they flip me over and ask if I need an ambulance. It's hilarious, boys. It's a good time. It's a good time. I don't abuse it very often, though. Don't worry. I'm not tipping over every day. It's fine. Doesn't happen very often. Happen more when I'm with the kid, though. But I also like to use able-bodied people for my bidding. Right? Oh, it's great. Sometimes I drop stuff, and I can pick it up. I have no problem. I can bend down and pick it up, but sometimes I'm lazy. Right? It's a lot of effort. I don't want to put in that much effort. Right? So all I need to do is make eye contact with someone in the room who will help to see me drop that item. They'll come over and pick it up for me. That's all I need to do. The power of eye contact. It's great. Even opening doors. Hey man, you can open the door for me. I can open the door myself. But if you're the honester, open the door for me. I'm not going to complain. Right? Come on, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But, so Alex, the answer mentioned that I run a show every week called Last Minute Comedy. So where were you guys last Wednesday? I don't blame you, no. It's at the Petery. I run it at the Petery. Anyone familiar with Peter Easton Pub? You don't need to pretend, it's fine. I don't need your pity claps. I get them enough from the old ladies of my life. Peter Easton Pub is an interesting pub. Let's put it that way. It's a little rough around the edges. But it always holds a spot in my heart. So I remember doing my set one day, right? And I thought I did good. It was pretty fun. I got off stage. And I didn't know it at the time, but don't make eye contact with people at the Petery. It's not really something you want to do. And I seen that one guy eyeing me from across the room, and I made eye contact, and that was a mistake. So he came over to me, and I thought he would get up, right? I'll walk over like anyone else would, beside myself, of course. But I didn't know what he did. He went and he hopped from one chair to the next chair, to one more chair. And then he stood up and proceeded to talk to me. I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, we're already in for a good start. Let's see where this goes. So I'm expecting him to say, like, hey man, you did great. You're funny. I love your stuff. Because, I'm a comedian, and that's the kind of attention I crave. All the time. If you want to put me in a good mood, just say I did awesome. Maybe pat me on the head. Don't do that. That's degrading. I'm kidding. But that's not what he said. He came over to me and he said, hey man, do you ride canoes? I'm like, no. He said, you look like you got an upper body strength. You did this. What is this? I don't know. See, it looked like you got a lot of upper body strength. I'm like, no man, I'm just crippled. He's like, all right man, well I have a cabin that's 4 hours away. We should go canoeing there. And I looked at him really weird, and one would when a stranger asks you to go to a cabin. And he must have caught on and he backed up and said, or we could go to Powered Pond and we could go canoeing there. Thought to myself, great. Do I want to die 4 hours away? Or do I want to die in Powered Pond? Some great options there. So keep in mind where I am. I'm at the Petery, so I know when to say yes. But I also know when to say no, because I don't want to get stabbed. I got enough disability problems. I don't need to add to the list. So I said to him, I said, all right, you know what, buddy, maybe. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. And he said, all right, buddy. I'm here every week. If you ever want to go canoeing, you just let me know. I'm like, all right, buddy, whatever you say. So I come back the week after. She's not there. Come back the week after that. Still not there. One more week. Not there. I'm thinking this guy's a liar. But you know, I can't help myself. Sometimes I lie awake at night and I wonder if Canoe Guy ever found his canoe friend. And if he did, and that canoe friend 6 feet under right now, and I feel like that would have been me if I said yes. We got anyone here from Mount Pro? I was raised in Mount Pro. Mount Pro sucks. Oh man, I couldn't get away with anything in Mount Pro. Right? Oh my God. Like my neighborhood, everyone knew everyone. Right? They were very friendly, everyone knew each other. And you might be thinking, Charles, that sounds lovely. Why, what's wrong with that? And you're not wrong, as an adult, it's nice. So I would like to go back to Mount Pro. But as a child, I couldn't get away with anything. I couldn't get up to my shenanigans without someone like, I remember, like, you know, I'd give people, I'd give my friends a ride on my wheelchair in the middle of the road, or one time we made a go-kart, and it was just 2 skateboards nailed together with a seat on it, and a skipping rope, and I pulled them around on the skipping rope. It was great, it was dangerous, but it was fun, right? But I remember making my way home and not even making it up the street, and my mom or my dad, sometimes both, they're out on the front porch yelling at me to get my butt home because someone rented out the cripple. Who does that, boys? Come on, man. Let him have some fun. For all you know, he might be dying, right? No, a bit too far? Okay. I'm not dying, don't worry. Alright, I'm not dying. It's fine. At least not yet. We're all gonna go one day. But it's a different story. It's a different story. Oh my. Well, I'm really happy to be here. I'm jealous of that dog. Look at that dog. He looks like he's having a great time. Hanging out in the RV all the time, going to places, see the world. I'm not gonna lie, Alex. You're living my dream, man. You're living my dream. But don't judge me for this next story. Okay? We've all done stupid stuff as a young adult or a young teenager kid. So let's keep that in mind, okay? Alright? So when I first got my license, me and my friends, we'd get all up to all types of shenanigans, right? And we liked to hotbox my van. So we found at one spot that we would go and we'd be hotboxing, have a good time, go out for a walk or whatever, walk. Go get some snacks. So one time we went to our regular spot, and we seen the truck barreling down the road, right? Parked right next to us, nearly ran into us. And I see this big, skinny looking guy come out of the van looking, oh man, right? And then he looks through the window of my van. I already know we're not dealing with a very smart individual, because he was looking through the tinted window. But if he went one more window over, he could have looked through a regular window. So me and the boys were in there, we're watching him, you know, seeing what he's gonna do, and then he just left. And quickly they came, and I'm like, man, it's so weird. But whatever, what can we do? He's gone. A couple minutes later, a cop car pulls up. We get dicey now, right? So he pulls up and the officer gets out of his car and he's looking at my van and eventually he opens the side door and out comes the biggest cloud of smoke you've ever seen in your life. And like Saggy in a mystery machine, right? And he looked at us and he said, good evening, boys. Have you been smoking? And me, being kind of dumb at the time, said, no, officer, I'm not. Red flag number 1, right? And they said, all right, well, sir, do you know your keys are in your ignition right now? And I'm like, yeah, officer, we're just, we're just trying to keep warm. It's a cold day, there's some red flag number 2, right? And he said, well, we got reports of a baby left alone in a van. You guys don't have a baby on you, do you? But like, no, officer, no baby here. Right? And he said, all right, he looked at me one more time and said, are you good to drive? I said, yes, officer, I'm good to drive, but don't worry about it, we're gonna go get some snacks and stuff first. Red flag number 3. Thought I was done for at that point. He said, all right, well, I'm gonna go look for that baby. You gentlemen have a good night. And then he left. I'm like, oh yeah, got off scot-free. But I was thinking about it, and I think this is where another superpower of mine comes in. It's very inconvenient to arrest someone like myself. Really, if you think about it, like, you can't get my chair in the police car, right? Gonna get me in the police car, but like, once we get to the station, you can't walk me out of the car, right? You need to get a bus or like some kind of accessible van to come pick me up. And then there's more paperwork. And we all know that cops don't want to do paperwork, right? So that was the day I realized I had the superpower of inconvenience. And like I said earlier about it, if I was a supervillain, you'd be in big trouble. You'll be in big trouble. But luckily, like our main guy Alex here, I'm very nice, easy to get along with. And I really appreciate you listening to me tonight. So please enjoy the rest of the show and have a good night.
We watching those comedians and they making me feel like I'm bleeding.